Have you ever driven down a country lane late at night, and just as you turn a bend you see something through the corner of your eye? But when you turn to look through your rear view mirror, what you thought you'd seen has disappeared, leaving you with a question that sticks with you for a very long time. And why is it people telling the story of what they've seen claim it to be that of an apparition, but yet others simply say it was just a reflection of their car headlights? Is it because the people who see an apparition believe in spirits, and the others simply don't? Well, this is one of the many reasons people get involved with the paranormal. What's your reason? My name's Frank Humphries. I'm about to take you on a journey in search of the truth. I'll be asking the question, do spirits really exist? See, in a world full of believers, it's not very often the skeptics are given a chance to prove there's a more rational explanation. Welcome to a world that brings more questions than answers. My question for you, ghosts. Are you a believer or are you a skeptic? Maybe you're undecided. Whatever you believe, stay with me as I, along with Third Eye Paranormal Investigation team member Anthony Keeling, invite you to join us on a paranormal experience of a lifetime. Throughout the series, the Third Eye team are giving ordinary members of the public the chance to do battle against each other. 4 skeptics versus 4 believers. During each episode, each guest will battle it out against each other in their own personal quest to prove or disprove the existence of ghosts. A battle that is sure to be teeth-clenching fear in what are reported to be some of the UK's most paranormally active hotspots. Now, coming up, we're going to take a look back at the battle between last week's guests.
I do believe there is stuff here. I'm still a skeptic at the moment, guys.
I will be introducing 2 more unsuspecting guests. Stuart. Barry. It's Barry, is it, yeah? And we'll also hear what some of the locals have to say about the paranormal.
I think there is things that happen.
Now, before I introduce team believer Anthony Keeling, let me first welcome you to this evening's location, the timeless Morecambe Winter Gardens. Morecambe Winter Gardens, originally known as the People's Palace and Aquarium, first opened its doors in 1878 as a seawater swimming baths. In 1896, T. Baxter and R.B. Abbott bought the building and established the Winter Gardens Company, a company which was to last for only 12 years before going into liquidation in 1908. However, in 1909, W.H. Broadhead and Sons bought the building, giving it the new names of the King's Pavilion and the Empress Ballroom. For many years, the theatre had a policy of showing silent films and variety shows, as well as catering for such events as the annual music festival. In 1933, a group of local businessmen purchased the building for £24,000, and just 1 year later, a major refurbishment was completed and the theatre reopened. The then chairman, Harry Smirk, travelled the country attracting many of the top names in show business to Morecambe, and the theatre became nationally renowned. 1940 seen a highly successful fundraising show with George Formby topping the bill, raising £600 for war charities. The show was to open the floodgates for many other top acts to follow, with the likes of Laurel and Hardy, Al Reid, Gracie Fields, Morecambe and Wise, Morecambe's very own Albert Modley, Shirley Bassey, the Rolling Stones, and many, many more. Unfortunately, in 1977, the Winter Garden closed its doors to the entertainment world, and the building slowly started to decay. Just 9 years later, in 1986, a group of local residents formed the Friends of the Winter Gardens. Their prime role was to save the theatre from being demolished. The Friends were given permission to allow members of the public to visit the building during the weekends, this gaining a vast amount of public support, and with further help from the Buildings at Risk Trust, Lancaster City Council and the English Heritage, the Friends helped stop the Winter Garden from being demolished. In February 2006, the Friends formed a charitable trust, the Morecambe Winter Gardens Preservation Trust Limited, and this was to be the appropriate vehicle to purchase the theatre. Today, the work of the Friends ensures that the theatre is maintained and accessible to the public, and undertake fundraising activities which include providing charity collection boxes to local businesses, regular tombolas, and special events to help fund further renovation. I just hope this place is completely renovated very soon. Now, before I set off to surprise our guests, I always like to have a chat with the team. Joining me now, we have team believer Anthony Keeling. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Frank.
How are you doing?
Not bad.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to it.
Let's get straight in. Let's talk about our last investigation. Hack Green.
Brilliant location. A lot of history there. I was so chuffed that I was getting what I considered as a good response. And that's how it was working. It wasn't like it was something that was constantly happening and I just happened to be asking questions in between.
Right.
It was in response to.
So basically you can tell our skeptics at home that you think that what you experienced was definitely paranormal?
I was getting interaction with whatever spirits were communicating with me.
What I did notice that when you were asking orbs to do things when we were in the theatre, you asked an orb to go up, and basically it seemed to happen. What do you have to say to our viewers, our skeptic viewers, as well as the believers?
To the skeptic viewers out there, this is something that I have actually specifically done on previous investigations in other places, where skeptics out there turn around and say it's a particle of dust. Right. Well, a particle of dust goes down on your screen, so I turn around and ask for it, right, can you go up? And it happens. Dust doesn't do that on command. It's something that is actually
intelligent.
Yeah, it's like I have raised in previous investigations that I speak to them with the respect as if they are people.
Personally, I've got to tell you, right, is that I had no experiences.
You turn around and say that you didn't experience anything, but you were reacting to noises. You heard what you thought was a whistle when we were in the bunker.
No, sorry, when we were in the shelter, I actually heard what I thought was a like that. Right. That's what I thought I heard. I didn't hear it as a whistle. You perceived it to be a whistle.
You did have experiences?
No, I would say that's what I heard. Now, we heard a couple of minutes prior to that, the guest stomach. I'll mention the guests in a moment, right? But basically, we heard, I think, Kerry's stomach at the time. Kerry actually admitted to her stomach making that noise. Now, a couple of minutes later, we heard the same sound, but Kerry didn't feel like it was her stomach. Now,
it wasn't the same sound. The viewers out there will be able to hear the difference between the two.
Let's talk about our guests in that episode. First of all, Kerry Robson.
Anybody in this room with me now, please make a noise. So if you can do something.
I do believe there is stuff here. I just don't think there's an awful lot of activity going on in this room.
She was really confident with what she was doing. She's a big believer, and I think that she was prepared to fight her corner.
Yeah, because what I've seen is Kerry was actually getting some really strange feelings. She was really getting scared. There was one point where I felt as though she wanted to run away when we were in the ladies' dormitory. She wanted to get out of that room really fast. Do you think Kerry was definitely staying strong as a believer?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Esther Wade, what a strong skeptic.
There's a lot of banging going ahead from up there.
I'm still a skeptic at the moment, guys.
Nothing really has made me think I'm wrong.
Again, she was prepared to fight her corner for the skeptics out there. She really did put across a good case, and I think that at times that we saw that sort of conflict between the two of them, and you can tell that we're both passionate about being there and trying to prove to skeptics and believers out there watching that that's who they were there for.
Okay, there's our guests. There's our last investigation.
Yep.
We get emails off members of the public, and these guys are asking questions, right? Where do you think you should not investigate, and why?
My own personal sort of opinion on that is I don't think that you should carry out an investigation on a cemetery.
Okay.
To me, that is showing respect for those people that have been buried there.
So what you're saying is people should never ever investigate inside a cemetery?
Correct, yeah.
Another question, now this is a strange question really from a member of the public, is, the question is, what was the third most scariest thing that you've ever had happen to you on a paranormal investigation?
One thing that I would probably put it in third is where flies. We were constantly getting bugged by flies in a particular room, and there is a lot of belief there that flies can be associated with some sort of dark sort of presence or entity.
What do you think tonight's investigation will bring?
I think it will definitely bring a lot of conclusive evidence.
Okay.
The place is steeped in history. There's going to be a massive amount of energy here that is just waiting to be released.
Interesting, yeah. Okay, myself personally, right, is I think this is going to be the place that I'm going to prove to you that there's no spirits at all. I just don't think that it's going to bring anything for the viewers who are watching this, or for you as a believer.
I absolutely disagree with you. I think that it's going to be an eventful night, and viewers out there will make up their own minds.
Okay, Anthony, have a great investigation.
Yeah.
And I'll speak to you later.
Okay.
Okay. Right, okay, there we go. Anthony Keeling, he's ready for this investigation. The question is, are our guests ready? They have not got a clue that we're going to surprise them at the door. So, let's go. We've just arrived at Stuart Buchanan's, and we're going to go see if Stuart's in, and just hopefully this gentleman's there. So let's go. Stuart.
Correct.
Frank Humphries from Third Eye Paranormal Investigations.
Alright.
How are you?
I'm very well.
You alright? Nice to meet you, mate. Are you ready to go on a Third Eye Paranormal Investigation? Bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting a phone call, aren't you?
Yeah.
We have Stuart here with us now. It's Stuart Buchanan, is that right, Stuart?
Yeah.
Big skeptic.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is for you to just have a battle. Just
Okay.
prove to these believers that there's a more rational explanation.
Right.
Right, after you, mate. Right, we've just arrived at Barry Chick's. He's a big believer. Now, basically what we've had to do is we've had to call Barry because we just couldn't find his house. He will probably almost certainly be ready and waiting at the door. So let's go and catch him now and give him a surprise. Barry, it's Barry, is it? Yeah?
It is, yeah.
How are you, mate? Okay?
I'm alright, thanks.
Right, listen, we're going to try and surprise you, but obviously that's
Yeah.
not the case today, yeah? What we have Barry Chick, yeah?
Yep.
Big believer.
Yep.
Going to fight your battle tonight, Barry,
Yep,
yeah?
definitely.
We've got Stuart's in the car now. He's our skeptic
Right.
this evening, yeah?
Okay,
And
yeah.
you're going to pit your wits against him and battle it out, and you know, you're going to try and prove to him
Brilliant.
that spirits exist, yeah?
Fantastic.
Are you ready to go, or have you got to get some
No,
stuff?
I'm ready, yeah.
You good to go?
Hold on.
Oh, good man.
Spot
Okay,
on.
off we go, yeah? Right, we'll just jump out with me now and let's get in there and see what you guys think of this place, yeah? Okay. Hey gentlemen, just want to stand over there by these railings. You okay, Stu, yeah?
Yeah.
Stu, you're a skeptic. Tell me a little bit more about why you're a skeptic. Tell our viewers why you're a skeptic. Why do you not believe in spirits, Stu?
Well, to be honest with you, when I was a kid, I did. I think you believe in all that sort of thing when you're a kid. It's the fairy tale thing and all that. You believe in ghosts, but the older I get, the more sceptical I get, and I'm pretty much sceptical now.
Now, Barry, you're a big believer. In your life, you've had many experiences.
Yeah.
Tell me about your experiences.
The most vivid one that I remember was when I was a young boy, growing up in a bedroom, 3 of us sharing the same room. And the first experience I ever had was looking at the bottom of bed, and there was a figure walking back and forth.
Is there any rational explanation for that experience that you can think of?
I've tried thinking of all sorts to what it could be. You know,
Okay.
street lamps, street lights, any kind of thing, because the kind of thing I seen to me was like a human being that was lit up.
A silhouette.
How long ago was it?
Oh, I was about 5.
You're 30 years of age now.
Yeah.
At 5 years of age, did your parents actually tell you that?
No, it was during that night. It was my grandparents that were babysitting, and I remember it so vivid that as soon as I seen the apparition, I tried to move, I tried to shout,
And you were
I
frozen.
couldn't do anything.
Do you guys at home have an explanation as to what Barry's experienced there? You as a skeptic or maybe you as a believer? Be very interesting to see what you guys think about that. Send us an email. Think about time you gentlemen had a walk through this building, yeah? So you guys, if you basically want to walk through them doors there, we've got the other team members waiting for you, and what will happen is they'll walk you through the building, and let's see what you guys feel, you know, see how you feel, yeah. Our viewers at home will be watching you guys walk through the building, so it'll be very interesting to see what your feelings, what stuff you gather as you walk through, yeah. So listen, good luck, great investigation, nice to speak with you, and yourself as well, and have a great one, guys, okay?
Brilliant.
See you later on.
Cheers,
okay,
mate.
cheers. Now before we see what the guests think of tonight's location, let's see what spirits they may encounter this evening. Here in the basement, shadows have often been seen lurking in the darkness. Who or what these shadows belong to still remains a mystery. Past witnesses who've seen them say they seem to be watching and waiting. The question is, why? Along with the shadows, the spirits of children have often been seen down here. Witnesses who've seen the children say they seem to be wanting to make contact with the living but are hiding at the same time. With further reports of poltergeist activity and the growling dog with red eyes, this is one vigil not to be missed. Backstage, there have been many reported sightings of a spirit known as the stage manager. People who have encountered him say he's not a nice spirit and he's been known to push and pinch people. Here in the God's Bar, there have been reports of dark shadows stood in the doorways at either end of the bar, as if observing what's going on inside. With many other ghostly stories including poltergeist activity and an array of unusual unexplained sounds, this is one room that surely needs further investigation. The Ladies' Bar. A female spirit dressed in Edwardian clothing has been seen standing in this doorway. The Sceptics would say the female is just an image of someone's vivid imagination. Or is it? The Gentleman's Bar. Past visitors who've been there to sit inside this cupboard said that when they're inside they feel a state of panic and very, very nervous. Is this just their own feelings, or is there something more sinister going on? The Morecambe Winter Gardens is no stranger to paranormal investigations, and there has been some very respectable ghostly eyewitnesses over the years. The question is, will the Third Eye Paranormal Investigation team and guests find the answers to what witnesses claim to have seen and heard over the years? Surely this has to be one for the believers. Surely it's time for the skeptics to realise that ghosts are part of human reality, and this theatre is what many believe it to be, one of Britain's most paranormally active hotspots.
As we've walked up here, are you picking up on anything? Have you felt anything, Stuart?
Well, the only thing I feel is cold, I'm afraid, but...
Cold. So, not picking up any vibes at all or anything like that?
No.
Yourself, Barry?
I feel there's activity in here.
Right.
I wouldn't say that this was probably the most active room of probably the building, 'cause I'm not getting that sense, but I'm getting the feeling that things have happened.
Feeling any different or just exactly the same, Stuart?
Just the same.
So?
Yeah, no different.
No. So, do you think that that would change throughout the building maybe, or are you just out and out? Is that just going to be the same in every room that you...
I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, yeah, I don't believe in ghosts, but some places can be creepier than others because of the sheer nature of the atmosphere.
How are you feeling in here?
A bit uneasy is the best way to describe it. It's like somebody's watching from a distance.
How do you feel about this room, Stuart?
I honestly don't feel any different. I mean, Barry's just said he feels more uneasy. I noticed when we walked into the room, there's a table down there with a few chairs, and they look like they've just been scattered around. That could give you the impression. I mean, it looks like somebody's had a séance or something and they've left you in a hurry. Your imagination can run away with you in places like this.
I completely sort of disagree with what Stuart's saying, because personally, if we put those table and chairs in the other room, the way I felt and it wouldn't make me feel any different.
Do you think that this gentleman's bar is haunted?
No, absolutely not.
I disagree. I wouldn't say too scared, but I'd be scared to be in here on my own for definite.
Initial thoughts and feelings?
Very dark, there's no light at all down here. It's pitch black. So, yeah, obviously it's going to be a bit creepier.
Right.
But apart from that,
So,
I feel really uneasy in here. I feel scared.
This week, we've decided to leave the mediums out. We're going to look at this investigation from a more sceptical point of view. So basically, the mediums can stay at home. Is that a wise decision? Well, only time will tell. Now, earlier I spoke to a couple of members of the public, and I spoke to a gentleman that works in this place. I asked them the question, do they believe in ghosts? And what they think of mediums. Here's what they had to say.
Rachel.
Rachel, I'm Frank, nice to meet you. And Peter, nice to meet you, Peter, yeah. So Peter, I'll start with yourself first, that's okay. Just want to ask you a simple question. Do you believe in ghosts, Peter?
Sceptical. No.
Very,
no. Yes. No. No, not really. No.
Right. Have you ever had an experience at all?
A little one with the Ouija board.
Oh my goodness! Right. Do you want to tell us? Do you want to explain that to us? You don't mind?
I didn't believe in it, but I think a couple of people was having me off really with moving glass around. But then again, the questions that got answered was
So now
pretty.
you wouldn't
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are you sceptical about the paranormal world, or do you think there is such things as spirits?
No, I'm pretty sceptical about it. I'm just,
Although you done a Ouija board
Yeah.
and the glass moved, and you just think that was a bit of a wild
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
mate,
yeah, definitely.
Rachel, what about you?
I think there is things that happen.
Right, so you're a believer?
Not 100%, but yeah, through, I don't know, there's a lot of, there is evidence.
Have you ever had an experience as you were growing up, or anything?
No, never had no, but again with Ouija board when we were younger,
right, so
which has convinced me.
What about mediums? What's your take on it?
a lot of rubbish.
Load of rubbish?
Yeah, definitely.
What about yourself?
2% of them are real. I had my a medium 1-to-1, and it was a load of rubbish.
Okay.
10 minutes, 15 quid, rip off.
Rachel's basically saying that there's 2% of mediums that are probably good and above board, and the rest of them are just basically in it for the money. I'd just like to say thank you very much. It's superb, mate, brilliant, and thank you very much as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what you think about ghosts.
Right, well, I'm a sceptic, I have to say, and I've been on many vigils with visiting groups here. I remain a sceptic, so nothing's ever happened to me to convince me, but that's not to say it doesn't happen to other people. I've certainly witnessed things happening to other people.
How can you still be sceptical when you see
Well, in the back of my mind, although some very strange things do happen, in the back of my mind is always this business of, is there a rational explanation? You know, could I imagine some other way this might have come about? You know, and I can never rule out those possibilities.
Do you think mediums are real? Are they for real, these guys, or are they fake?
Some of them are cheats, I think.
Okay.
Or they've got collaborators or whatever. But then, I think there are quite a number who are very genuine. Certainly their beliefs are genuine. And some interesting things happen.
This investigation will take you on a journey into the paranormal like no other. At the end of tonight's vigils, will the believers still believe, or will the skeptics still be skeptics? We also want your opinion as the viewer. Will your mind be changed by what you're about to see, feel or hear? Send us an email to thirdeyeinvestigations@live.co.uk telling us your stories. Now, they say life's too short. What is it?
Very extreme. No, hold on a second. You're
right. So you're saying like a ghost-like sound.
okay, but you've just criticised me for taking. Did you hear that?
What was that?
And you've done that from the start.
It's getting really cold in, you know.
If there's anybody here, can you please make yourself known now?
Those lights that you had around me earlier, can you do them around Stuart?
I thought there was a sound behind you.
I've just got that on camera. I know the camera that picked that up.
Do one last thing.
I'm a believer, but I can think logically about what's going on.
That was clear as anything. Peter, can I ask you a question? Right, you do various investigations with various different paranormal groups.
Yes.
These guys are experiencing all kinds of stuff going on during their investigations. Would you say they do the table tilting?
What was that? You hear that then?
Tilting.
What was that?
You did that then. Is that you?
Tell me what you heard. Did you hear someone's stomach rumbling?
No.
I heard it was
definitely like as if it's somebody would go like a ghost noise. Like,
it was like a
Right, so you'd heard something like a...
yeah.
I heard it exactly the same time.
You used to it.
Okay, so hold on, okay. Barry, sorry, not Barry, Peter. Do apologise, Peter. When they do the table tilting, can you tell me what? Do you think these guys are bringing stuff with them, and opening up certain things?
Yeah, I think for table tipping, they're bringing energy to the table, maybe their own, perhaps rather than something they're focusing.
Do you think the fact that we're not using methods that the groups use, is that the reason why we're not getting a reaction?
No, not at all. You don't need objects like that to provoke some sort of activity or anything like that.
I can almost hear something breathing, very faint.
Okay.
Deep down there.
Stuart, do you hear anything that Barry's hearing?
No.
We've overlooked the fact that Barry heard a groan at exactly the same time as me that was very, very distinctive.
Okay.
And we're overlooking that.
But we're not...
I don't think you can rule out that that was someone's stomach.
It definitely wasn't a sound.
Okay. Let me tell you this, right? Okay. If it was somebody, if it was something, right?
Yeah.
Why is it making sporadic noises? If you hear noises, if you hear noises, if you hear, can I just say this? If you hear and you need to make contact with us, see, now that was your stomach.
That's me, yeah.
I heard that noise there. I didn't know it was his stomach, and I thought, what the hell was that?
Let's do this. Let's
I
call
know
out.
the difference between a stomach rumbling and that groan, and it was a groan.
It was definitely like a
I
ghost.
disagree. I think they're similar sounds.
Ghost, like.
Right, so you're saying like a ghost-like sound. I've never heard a ghost-like sound ever.
No, like you know, as you when you're a kid and you go, ooh,
But, yeah.
It was exactly like that.
I'm not won over by that whatsoever.
I didn't hear that noise, but we're going back to the rumbling of
The stomach.
What I heard was more like somebody singing, more like actually a woman singing. It's
Like a
quite
high
high pitched.
What's the
Something just moved.
Whereabouts point?
It's around my ear, like. Well,
As if.
how close is Stuart there?
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'll establish you.
Right. Okay.
So you're saying something between you?
Like this.
Okay. Stu, was that your feet?
No, I didn't put the radio in my pocket. Could it have been that?
No, it's definitely concrete, like that.
I can't figure out what you think you're proving to me is down here.
But you're expecting all or nothing straight away again. And I'm sorry, you do it every time. You expect something to happen just like that, just because you want it to, and you expect it to be the biggest thing that's going to convince you straight away outright like that. But it's not going to happen like that.
You're a believer. I'm a skeptic. I couldn't stand by that doorway there with my back like that. I just
when we
couldn't
first
stand
came
it.
in, I did hear like a young girl's voice way in the background.
The things that Barry's feeling there, to be honest, I'm envious that he's feeling those things out. That would be great to feel that. I mean, oh, well, there is something after this life, you know. I'd love to think that, but I'm just not feeling it.
I'm not one for experiments, but let's do this. I'll talk, you just think, yeah? If there's a young girl in the Morecambe Winter Gardens, we'd like you to bring your energy to this area, please. We have the greatest respect for you. It would be very interesting to understand why you're here. We mean you no harm. We're giving you our energy to come forward. Come and say hello, please.
I feel like someone's touching my back of my jacket.
Where are you?
Right there.
On the back of your jacket?
Like little tugging. Right around the back to the right.
Is this you?
You make a sound.
Oh.
You make a sound.
Oh. Wow, how weird is that for you to say that, Anthony? I've just got a light just shot straight up. From down there, shot straight up to above your head.
I can picture it. I can feel you.
Dance around, Stuart. Show Stuart that you're here. You've got the energy now. No one can hurt you.
She's still pulling on mine.
You think she's still there?
Can you throw a stone? Can you show Stuart?
You can't throw stones at all, can you? It's a load of baloney, isn't it?
That's an Italian dish.
You pacing, Fran? Why are you pacing?
Because I'm listening to the gentleman speak. It's interesting to hear these guys really, having a go here. Myself personally, I definitely have to say I'm in Stuart's corner all the way, yeah. The guy's experiencing nothing. Barry seems to be experiencing everything. It's a classic skeptic versus believer. Why is Stuart stood in the same place Barry was and not feeling the same things Barry was? Barry stood in the same place Stuart was, but yet Barry's still possibly feeling things.
In response to that, Barry, why do you think you feel things that Stu doesn't?
Because I'm more open. I believe.
But you are open, right? As a believer. I'm open as a skeptic here. Yeah, wide open. Hello, Stuart's wide open as a skeptic. What we're trying to say is that it's not about that. It's not. Spirits, if they exist, then they're going to be here. Because the Morecambe Winter Gardens is reported to be haunted. So if they are here, why do they need to hide?
But they're not just going to be here on your say-so.
I'm not trying to be here on my say-so. They're here all the time. Am I not right?
Well, yeah, but you're expecting, again, like I say, you're expecting everything to happen just like that.
Why should they affect one gentleman but not the other?
Because Barry, just like myself and I'm sure thousands of other believers out there, we're just open to that. We're not closed-minded to it.
You've got Stuart who's very sceptical. His feelings are, he's not closed, his mind's not closed to the paranormal because this gentleman would like to believe that there's stuff going on, but so he is definitely open to the fact, but yet nothing's happening with him. But there you go, you have Barry with everything going on. Now Barry is open to the fact because he's a believer, but he's still having experiences and Stuart's not. But yet the both of them have a similar mindset. We live as human beings on the fact that we don't know what's going to happen next. And
so what about people that have had out-of-body experiences?
I wouldn't even go down there. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. An out-of-body experience. How can you have an out-of-body experience when you're still alive? How can you come back and say I had an out-of-body experience? You're a human being. You can't have an out-of-body experience no matter what. You can get out of your body, float up in the air and go a mile away and then come back. You're still alive. If you're dead, then how the bloody hell would you know that?
The human brain is an incredible thing and it can imagine things.
I agree with them. The human brain is a ball of energy that is fascinating, that we as human beings don't even understand, and we all possess one. Stuart,
yeah.
If you're in the desert, yeah, and you're thirsty, and Barry's in the desert and he's thirsty, yeah, and you're just on the border of dying, what do you see in the desert?
An oasis.
What's in that oasis?
Water.
Trees, beautiful place to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Why? What does that?
Well,
what does that prove?
That the human mind can see things that are not there.
So does that mean everything's a hallucination then?
Well, that's taking it to the extreme, isn't it? We're on a paranormal investigation. I'm just trying to say to you that...
Well, you're saying it in a very extreme... No, hold on a second. You're saying it in a very extreme way, that there's nothing out there. So you're taking it to that extreme.
But in my eyes, there isn't, because there's been nothing to
yeah, but you've just criticised me for taking it to an extreme. And you've done that from the start.
No, but what I've said, Anthony, right, is this, yeah? I'm saying that when these guys are seeing things, when Barry's seeing something, right, it's like an hallucination with regards to seeing an oasis in the desert when you're thirsty and you're about to die. People see these things, yeah? That I've never experienced that, but people do see these things, right? So basically what I'm saying is that sometimes when people are seeing these spirits and stuff, Barry had an experience when he was a young lad, that he's seen the spirits and stuff like that, yeah? No matter how real he thinks that is, right, there is an explanation for what he's seen.
I'm quite calm here, but if something came up to me now and pulled my coat, I would shit myself.
That's probably why they're choosing me.
Barry's been very calm about somebody coming up behind him and there's no one there and pulling his coat.
I've just looked over by that doorway and seen 2 red lights appear, like a pair of eyes appear by the doorway.
It's definitely something, yeah. So what I felt, I've 100%. I came here, not knowing where I was going, turned up outside, come in here, I felt something straight away.
Okay.
So it'd be interesting to see how the night goes.
I don't think he's telling lies. I believe everything he says. I think he feels he has felt something.
Yeah.
But whether he's in his mind he's wanted to feel something so much that he's imagined it, I don't know.
I'm sure for Barry, what he sensed was real. Your red eyes were quite interesting.
Anyone that knows or paranormal investigation, you see red lights on top of the cameras. And I've looked at the door after talking to the camera and seen 2 red lights by the doorway. So myself personally, I think I have an explanation for that. I don't think
explained right there.
I don't think it's paranormal at all. But I think Stu sometimes, a believer would say,
A believer doesn't just automatically turn around and say, oh, it must be paranormal. I'm a believer, but I can think logically about what's going on.
Is anybody here that want to play?
There's a little girl here that wants to play. Do you want to come and play? I bet you can't move one of those chairs. Hello? Are there any children around? No. Around? No. Around?
Can you throw something?
I don't believe there's anyone here.
Can you prove Stuart wrong? Do you hear that?
What do you hear?
A girl's voice again. But coming from the stairs.
Really? I didn't hear a thing.
Can you get those lights that you had around me earlier? Can you do them around Stuart?
I want some lights around me. Come on.
Can you make any noises around Stuart? How about kneeling down towards her level? Yeah?
Okay. I'll kneel down here. Okay, do you want to come and play? Play.
I'd say you're about as tall as Stuart now. Can you move the chair?
You can't move the chair, can you? Can you?
Did you hear that?
What was that?
Was that you?
What was that? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was like a little girl whistling, like going woo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is there someone here called Elizabeth?
Was that you? Is your name Elizabeth? Can you make the walkie-talkie bleep again?
Should we walk into one of the other rooms?
Yeah.
Just put your torch on so we know where we're going. How are you feeling now?
Cold. I've just not got that feeling in here that we had earlier on when everything was going on. Just disappointing, really.
I don't think there's anyone here because I think it's a load of rubbish. There's no such thing as spirits. There's no one here except me and Barry. That's what I think. Prove me wrong.
So what do you think about this, Stu? You know, here we are, reportedly haunted location. You've been on this planet for, for a long time.
X number of years.
Okay, which we'll not mention. But basically, what do you get from this? Is it quite literally where we are? Is it just a stage show, this paranormal stuff, Stu? Is there truth in what's happening?
I think a lot of these things are a stage show. Like I said to you before, I yearn to be converted.
Okay.
But I've tried over the years to be converted by visiting mediums and things, and every time they leave me cold, and I get more and more sceptical as each occasion like this goes by.
What do you think about the groups that are running around in the night? Are they taking people on frightening investigations?
No, they're probably very much like myself, that they want to find something to prove it.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm all for what they do, if that's the reason they're doing it.
Is that you? Do it again. Where did that noise come from then, Stu?
I thought there was a sound behind you.
I heard something by my feet.
Okay, make that noise again then. Did you hear something over there?
Is that you? Are you here to convince us that you exist? Tap twice.
I just saw like a light go across there.
Are you sure it wasn't the cars driving past then, Stu?
Could have been.
Past then, Stu.
Could have been.
Past then, Stu.
Could have been. What?
Do you not hear that?
No.
Do you know what it sounds like to me? Like a woman's voice right next to you going, oh. I tell you what, right, I've just got that on camera. I know the camera would have picked that up because that was clear as anything.
Strange, I didn't hear that.
Oh, God, I felt something on my arm. Do you know, I just felt something like tickling the back of my arm there, like that.
Yeah?
On the back of my arm.
Can you do that to me then? Can you touch my arm then?
Come over here, touch Stuart's arm. Is this my imagination? If there's a lady in here with us now, come forward. Is there a Joanne here?
When you said Joanne, I thought Joyce.
Okay, is there a Joyce here?
Do you know what? I'm going to take my coat off.
Just hold it. I hate to open that door. Don't know why.
Can you do this?
What was that?
Over that direction.
Wasn't. It was over that direction.
Ah.
I heard there. What did you hear? Did you hear that way?
Something over there.
I did hear something, right, and it seems to come from that direction over there. You're saying it come from what direction? You're saying it come from outside?
The thing is, it's an auditorium, so sounds move around, don't they?
Yeah, so there's a lot of skeptics out there, a lot of believers out there. Are you going to prove one of us wrong? Is it going to be us, the skeptics, you prove wrong by moving one of these chairs? Or are you not going to move anything and prove the believers to be wrong? And all the people that have been here over the years, there's nothing really going on here. Or is there? Any kind of sound at all will do.
Is that your stomach?
Yeah, I think it was, you know. Don't see why that should have been my stomach, but that was a loud stomach noise. I don't usually make stomach noises, but I think I'm going to go with you on that and say that was my stomach. That was well, right, okay, well, let's go. Was that you? Do you know what, Stuart, right? heard that noise, but you know when your stomach rumbles, don't you? You saw even if you stood there, right, that sounded right. My stomach's there, but that sounded in that area, but it didn't like sound like my stomach.
If it wasn't your stomach, it sounded like
a creak,
dragging a chair across the floor, but
a
distance away.
Isn't it amazing how we heard that differently? Because I heard that as being like a creak, and you heard that as being like a chair dragged across the floor. Now
Or even a table, something heavy being dragged across the floor, but a long way away.
It's just me now. Can you make a sound? There's a little girl here. Can you make a noise? It's getting really cold in you now. Could be just me, but just come to the doorway where I stood earlier. Just keeping the camera a bit low just to see if I can see anything. You coming to play again? Do you not want to speak to me? I've just gone through now into the other part of the cellar, which is just a single room on its own. As you can see, well, you might not be able to see, but there's only one way out, which is back behind me. So well, let's see if we can get anything here now. Is there anybody here that want to communicate? Can you tap your feet? Can you make a noise? Not feeling anything at all. Nothing down here. Not as much as I did earlier on. But kind of hoping that we might have picked anything up, really. But we'll see. Can you move the chair for me? Is there anybody here? I'm not sure whether you heard that at all, but definitely heard something. Don't know. Kind of sounded like a grumbling stomach, but it definitely wasn't mine, and I'm definitely on my own. So I'm kind of hoping the camera would have picked something up there, but we'll have to see. Is there anybody here? Was that you making the sound?
I'm in the ladies' bar, not feeling anything at the moment. Don't think I'm going to, but we'll see what happens. Can you close that door for me? Okay, make that sound again. I don't think there's anyone here. I'd love to be proved wrong. Is there anyone here? Come on, there's someone here. Can you please make a sound? Sound. Just saw movement from over there somewhere, but I'm pretty sure I imagined it. It's just my mind's, I think I'm getting tired now, my mind's playing tricks.
Can you show yourself? I'm here with the utmost respect. Really want to show the skeptics out there that you do exist. I think you do as well. I'm not feeling a lot at the moment, but I still do feel uneasy. Can you please show yourself? There are thousands of skeptics. What is that? I was saying there are thousands of skeptics watching this, thinking, yeah, right, not really proving anything. I think we can, together, use my energy. Now, that was a definite, like a ooh. I'm going to be going shortly, Do one last thing. Make some sort of noise. There was a definite tap then. I would definitely recommend you look up Morecambe Winter Gardens. It is an amazing place and it feels active. And I think that it is definitely one for any skeptic or believer out there to come and experience. If there's somebody here with me, can you tap again? Oh, yeah. I'll be on my way down. I don't care who you are, I don't care how many vigils you do, you still always get that gut feeling, that it's adrenaline, that rush, and once you've done one investigation, believe me, you will want to do more.
I'll be nice and quiet, make a sound.
About 2 seconds ago then I just heard something. Can't really rule out what it exactly was or what I think it was. Just behind me there, I don't know if you can see, is the main road where people could be walking up and down. But it definitely sounded like a man's voice. Hopefully that'll get picked up. But at the moment, I must be honest, I'm feeling quite comfortable here. Quite a warm, friendly, welcoming kind of feeling. Is there anybody here? Okay, so yeah, kind of similar sounds again coming from over here. Is that you crying?
Okay, if there's anyone down here, can you make a sound, please? If there is someone here, you're not very friendly. If you don't want to come and say hello. I heard a distant voice there, but it sounded like it was in the distance. If that was you, do you want to make that sound again? Yeah, that was a voice. Whose voice? I'm not sure. I don't know whether it's one of the other guys in the distance or what, but I'm hearing a voice. Can you make that sound again for me? Can you make that sound again for me? Louder. There it was again. Again, please. I'll count to 3. You shout. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
If there's anybody here with us now, this is our last vigil, this is our last chance to show the skeptics.
Come on! Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What's that?
Kind of like a cry, kind of.
Like a ooh.
Yeah.
Are you here? Are you here? Surely, if there's been good on 1 million people, 1 million energies coming through this place, send that energy to this area now. Am I being too aggressive, buddy?
No. But you seem to get a reaction, but the louder you were, the more reaction we seem to be getting.
Stuart.
Can you just tell me next time you're going to shout like that?
Right, okay, I do apologise, mate. But yeah, on a more serious note though, do you think shouting towards spirits, if there is any such thing as spirits, Stu, but do you think shouting at them would help? Not shouting at them, but shouting louder to get a reaction.
Honestly, I've no idea.
Okay, do you want to do me a favour, Stu?
Yeah.
Well, can you shout out for them spirits? Just shout out like there's a spirit here, but give it out so I can hear the echo.
If there's anybody here, can you please make yourself known now?
Okay, that's twice. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
Did you not hear that? I heard something coming from the right hand side of me.
Is there anybody here with us now? Can you make yourself known?
Barry says that you exist. Stuart says you don't. Who is right and who is wrong? If you are here, you have the choice. Okay, Anthony, did you see a flash of light?
It was like just in the bottom of my view, went straight across.
What, when you're facing this way or out that way?
Well, I was facing here and I was looking there, and as I turned that way, it was like it came across past me, out.
Stuart, your investigation, how's it been for you, mate?
Yeah, it's been interesting. We've heard a few noises. People have said they've felt a couple of things. I've heard a few noises myself, but I believe they're pretty much all noises that can be explained one way or another.
It's been a fantastic evening for me as a believer. As you said, there's been plenty of noises. For me, some physical things that I've seen. When I was down there with Stuart in the cellar myself. Hopefully we can see that on the footage. Fingers crossed it comes through. So not only just have I experienced something physical, hopefully there's something physical that Stuart may not have felt at the time, but maybe visible after the footage.
Yeah. How do you relay your information, your feelings this evening to the skeptics that are watching this?
Basically exactly the same way as I've done with Stuart. Looked at Stuart. So Stuart's obviously skeptic completely right through as he was before he come here. But seeing Stuart change as he went through, we're all comfortable in the room together. As soon as they start to become individuals, you start to hear the sounds, everything that starts to make it a bit more real. So hopefully, with even though the sounds and that we're all seeing, that we're hearing and that, hopefully it gets picked up on tape.
It's an experience like no other, whether you're skeptic or believer. It's once you've done one, you will still want to do more.
Fantastic having you guys here. Really glad that you've enjoyed the investigation, and no doubt basically the proof is in the footage. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see your feelings later on in the series. Are you ready to join us?